Good morning everyone. For today's devotion, I would like to share two personal experiences and one story from the Bible. A couple of weeks back, as I was sitting in my church, I had the small desire to meet someone from the SV community. I just told God it would be nice if only I could meet someone from our community. And I completely forgot about it. And after the service, as I was going to pick up my son from the Sunday class, I heard someone call out my name. And as I turned back, I saw Carol along with Pundra sir and Mary ma'am. I was too excited and happy to meet them after many decades. And at the same time, I was amazed at how God had fulfilled the small desire of mine. The next story that I would like to share is from my dad's life. This happened during his early days as a missionary when he was serving God in a remote village called Chinani in Jammu. So on a particular day, he just made some calculation and he had a need of 70 rupees. He prayed for it and went about his work. And when he came back home, the postman came and handed him a money order of the exact amount that he needed. So we all know that money order takes a couple of weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks to reach that person. So even before my dad had that need, or even before my dad could tell God that he had that need, God had set in action and to provide for this need. So week before my dad had this need, the means to provide for this need was already set. And the third example that I would like to share is from the Bible, 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 1 to 7. And right before the story, we read about Naaman, a great commander who was afflicted with leprosy, and he was healed in a miraculous way. And right after this story, we read about the Armenian army being blinded and led to the king of Israel. And we also read about Elisha and his servants seeing the army of God on their side. Two great stories, two very important stories and of great significance. Yet, in between these two stories, we read the story about a small prophet whose name we do not know. All that we know that he had an axe that was borrowed. Axe was a very rich was very expensive during those days, and this prophet couldn't even afford an axe. He had to borrow an axe to do his work. So as this, we all know that they were trying to build a new place for them to live. So while this construction was going on, there would definitely have been more needs and more issues that Elisha had to look after. But this prophet, as he was working, we see that his axe head falls into the river. And instead of crying and weeping over it or trying various other means to replace it, he approaches Elisha. And we go on to read that Elisha cuts the sticks and drops it in the place where the axe head fell. And we see that the axe head floats in the river. Axe head is made of iron, and we know iron can never float in water. But here we see that the axe head that is made of iron floating in the river. Because this prophet took his need to his master. His need was met in an extraordinary way, in a way that was beyond his comprehension. So he could have said that he's a very poor person, he's a person of a very insignificant person. But still, his need was his need, and he approaches his master with confidence that he would resolve his problem. So today you may feel that you are nobody. You may feel that the people around you are of great importance, and their needs are of great importance that God will meet. But even though you may feel you are nobody, you are precious in God's sight. You are engraved in His palm. So your needs, your desire becomes His responsibility. And when it is His responsibility, He sits in action to provide even the smallest need of yours. And when He provides the smallest needs of yours, it is provided in an extraordinary way, in a way that is beyond our comprehension, so that we can glorify His name. Small desires God provides. Insignificant needs God sets in action before that need arises. And insignificant needs, God answers them in extraordinary way. And before I close this devotion, I would like to share a few lines. A little need, though insignificant in your sight, still take it to the Lord in prayer. Be assured, for He set in action before you felt that you had that need. And when you tell Him of your need, be assured your answer is at hand. So be assured God is there to provide all your needs, no matter how insignificant they are in your sight. So have a great day. Have a blessed day. Thank you.
God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. Is so good to me. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. Is so good to me. He saved my soul. He saved my soul. He saved my soul. Saved my soul. He's my friend.